Hey guys, and welcome back to another Access Institute video. And in today's video I'm back with another interview, and I'm here with Brian Phillips. Brian, how are we?
All good. How are we?
I'm great, thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much for doing this interview, mate.
No problem. No
Oh,
problem.
nice one. So, am I right in saying you're 29, you're a super featherweight, and you're 12-2?
Yeah, that's right.
Alright.
Just turned 29 a couple of days ago.
Alright.
So no birthday cake for me.
Alright, okay, well, if you're new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do need to like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, the question which I always like to start off with, why did you start boxing?
My family boxed, and I just went around the gym one day and I liked it, and used to watch boxing and talk about boxing, and it was just come naturally. It just there was no pressure. There was just what you do in Liverpool. You box, you play football. That's it.
That's great. Okay, and so you then, am I right in saying, went down the amateur route?
Yeah, went down the amateur route. Probably had about 48 amateur fights. Started off in the route under ABC. A lot of great champions there. Moved on then to the Everton Red Triangle. Finished my amateur career off in the Everton Red Triangle.
Great. Did you win any notable achievements in that time?
No. I think I boxed for about I'm going to say 7 or 8 years in the amateurs, and to get out the region, it was tough. It was tough. There was a few good kids at my weight, so and unlucky enough, I never got out the MV. I got out the Eden, but never went on and got a national championship.
Okay, well, why did you end up turning professional when you did them?
The egg cards had come off. We were doing 3-minute rounds, and I was thinking, should I box again or what should I do? And the pro side come up to me. The pro side it fell on my lap, and I seen what I can do. And you've got to sell tickets, and you've got to hit a number of how many tickets. And I was thinking, will I be able to do that? But I put the word out there, and there's a lot of people who back me and a lot of people who supported me. So when I first started boxing, I always wanted to turn pro, and that was a little bit of a push to go and do it after the amateurs stopped and the egg cards and the 3-minute rounds come.
That's great. Okay, and so you've had the 14 fights now, and out of all these fights, which one would you say you've performed your best in?
I'm gonna say, I'm not sure. Every fight's been different. I like the fight I boxed in the Olympia. I think it was me second fight under Tonk's gym. And it was the 5th of October. I think so. That must have been about, I think it was 3 years ago. 3 years ago. It come up on the memories on Facebook before the other day, and I enjoyed that fight. It was only a 4-rounder, but I enjoyed every minute of it. Enjoyed to just boxed and played around and hit him with big shots, hit him with fast shots, done a little bit of everything in that fight. So I enjoyed that fight. And then after the fight, I went and milked my birthday for a good few weeks.
That's great.
And then I enjoyed it.
Great. Okay. Well, you unfortunately have suffered the 2 defeats, but you've always managed to bounce back and get victories after these defeats. And so, how have you managed to be able to bounce back like you have?
Yeah. So my first defeat, I was gutted. I was in a tough place. I was thinking, what do you do now? Being beaten. It's not about the game. It's about how you come back. It's not about it when you're finished. It gives you it makes you work harder for when you come back. And when you do come back, it's not the end of the road. A defeat is a defeat. It's just, it took its toll at first. I was gutted, but it doesn't mean nothing. As long as I I stepped up to the plate. I'll fight anyone, and I showed that I'll fight anyone in anywhere. And they're real fights. I could box any these fighters who have got no good records and keep winning. But I jumped in a real fight after 8 months of being a pro.
Definitely. And so you've now got this fight coming up on the 22nd of October, and it's for the Central area, and so it's a big fight for you. I believe it's your first title fight.
Yeah, my first title fight, and I've been begging, and I've been praying, and I've been hoping, and I've manifested nights like this when I first come into boxing to win a belt and challenge for titles and fight a good kid, and that's what I want to be. It excites me, it really does. And now I'm here.
Yes, you are indeed, and I imagine because you have now gotten to this position and it's a somewhat dream come true, you've been training very hard and been preparing very well. And so how has preparations been for this fight?
Yeah, preparation has been, it is what it is. Basically, camps are tough. Every day you wake up in the morning, you go, let's go again. And when it's starting to get cold like this, you want to just roll over and go back to sleep. But that's the difference. You roll over and get out of bed, and you go and get your work done. You come home, you have your right foods, and then you're back again, train again, and have the early nights.
Definitely. And so
a lot of sacrifice.
Yes. And so have you done anything different ahead of this fight, or is it just the same as usual?
For this camp, same as usual. Everything anything I've been told to do, I've done. So everything's just been disciplines. You get that done, and I just say yeah. You tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
That's great. And so you are facing a tough opposition, and so how much do you know about your opponent? Obviously you don't want to give away the game plan, but do you see any clear weaknesses that you can exploit?
No, to be honest, I haven't really watched them. I was meant to box him a few times before. I was meant to box him. This fight's being rescheduled. He pulled out with an injury a couple of days before our last match, and and then the time before that it was meant to be scheduled again. But to me, I don't really look too much into fights. Once you get in there, the first shot lands. He lands a shot, I land a shot. It's game on. Then it's who's trained harder, who's sacrificed more, who wants it the most, and who's willing to go that extra step.
Definitely. And so you said that all the preparations have been going well. Is there any obviously you've been sparring, and is there any big names that you've been sparring ahead of this fight?
I've sparred Jazza Dickens. He's got a world title fight this weekend. I wish Jazza all luck in the world. Go and get that, Jazz. And Gary Cully. He's in the same camp as Jazza, so I've done a few rounds with them. So sparring, they're the two biggest names I've sparred this camp.
Okay, great. And in a prior answer, you said about how the pro game is definitely a lot more about selling tickets, and so you've got quite a big fan base now, I can imagine. And so why should new fans come? Why should people come and watch you? What makes you interesting?
Yeah, so all the fans that have backed me, have backed me from the start. I've got a little black notebook, and what I do is I write the name, how many tickets they want, and tick them off when they've paid, and all them names have come up over and over again. 14 fights, 5 years as a pro, and they've paid a lot of money, and they've come to me fights and they've backed me, and it's humbling. But new fans, don't worry about it. I get them new fans will be interested after I become champion. There will be a load backing me, and we'll be on bigger shows, and we'll be on television, and there'll be a lot of fans coming after this fight.
That's great. That's good fighting talk. And so I'd imagine you're wanting to go on to even more titles after this next fight. And so, how far do you believe you can go in the sport?
Yeah, so this fight, Central Area title fighter is, but also it's an English title eliminator. So the winner fights with the English title next. So I can't get too ahead of myself, but Central Area, then English, then go up the ladder, old school. Maybe British or Commonwealth, see what's available and keep pushing on step by step. And it's everything's all down to yourself, how far you actually believe.
Yeah.
So if you truly believe, you dedicate yourself, you can go all the way. And that's to anyone. If you've got them little doubts, they're gonna come and creep back in your mind.
That's very motivational. And so to get these big British and English fights that I'm sure you'll be wanting, you'll have to face some top opposition. And is there anybody in the super featherweight division in which you look at and say, oh, I'd love to fight them maybe one day?
I haven't looked at the super featherweight division. I haven't really focused. I want to focus on this one fight first, get this fella out of the way, and then we can once I get the belt, then the doors open. Whoever's next for the English, and then so on. Let me management sort that. I'd fight anyone. Anyone knows it. I've jumped in on short notice. I've jumped in undefeated kids, 2 undefeated kids. I'll fight anybody. It's what I'm here to do. It's my job. So give me the right prep, and I'll fight anyone.
Great. And so, am I right in saying you've gotten 3 stoppages so far in your career?
Yeah. My first 2 fights, 2 stoppages, 2-0, 2 knockouts. I thought I was flying. I thought the game was easy. You just get them in, bowl them over, and you get paid. Then I come up against a tough opposition. I didn't stop him, and then I went on and I stopped him. Another lad further down the line, but it's all good. The stoppages, they slow down. They slow down after your first couple of fights.
Yeah, definitely. And so, do you think you could definitely stop this person, or is your focus just getting the win, or just getting the points win or anything?
Anything, any means possible to. I just need that win. I need that win. Whether I go and bowl them out, or whether I finish him with a body shot, or whether TKO, the ref waves it off, or a win on points. I just need to win. But yeah, I could, when the little 8-ounce gloves go on and you tighten them up, he's got the same 8-ounce gloves on, and we both swing away.
Definitely.
It's going it's going to be a good one.
Yes, definitely. And so I'll leave it with this final question, which I always like to ask. You've got a little bit of a platform here. Would you like to shout anything out?
Just everyone, my family, my friends, and my sponsors, and that's it really. Just thank you very much for supporting, and the journey continues. The dream lives on. We go again, and then new.
Definitely. Okay. Well, thank you very much for doing this interview, mate.
No problem.
Nice.
Thank you.
And maybe
nice to speak to you.
Yes, and maybe when you're fighting for the English and the British belts, we can come back and do a return interview.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright,
definitely.
Nice one. Okay.
See you soon. Catch you soon.
Yes, mate. Alright, well, if you are new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do need like the video, and thanks for watching.